What if a 5,000-year-old bacterium frozen in ice held the secret to surviving the future? From a runaway black hole creating stars in its wake to revolutionary vaccines designed for your unique DNA, this week we are witnessing the impossible become reality. We have 16 groundbreaking discoveries that are reshaping our world and the universe beyond. No distractions, just the pure speed of scientific progress. I am going to tell you about the 16 most incredible scientific breakthroughs of the week. Let us dive in. We begin our journey by stepping out of the modern world and into the shadows of time. The silence of the ages is finally breaking, revealing stories that have waited thousands of years to be told. It is time to listen closely to the echoes of the past. Deep inside the Schedeshora ice cave in Romania, scientists have awakened a silent survivor from 5,000 years ago. This ancient bacterium, known as Psychrobacter, has been trapped in a frozen tomb since the dawn of human civilization. But as researchers mapped its genome, they discovered something terrifying. This prehistoric organism is already resistant to 10 of our most powerful modern antibiotics. It possesses a natural arsenal against drugs we only invented decades ago. Even more surprising is its aggressive nature. In lab tests, it successfully hunted and suppressed dangerous modern superbugs like MRSA. This discovery proves that antibiotic resistance is not just a modern human problem, it is an ancient survival mechanism born in the wild. As global temperatures rise and the ice melts, these hidden chemical weapons are beginning to leak back into our world. This frozen relic serves as a warning from the past. It shows us that our greatest medical challenges might have been waiting for us in the ice for millennia. While some ancient secrets are microscopic, others are titanic. Deep in the heart of the Sahara Desert, paleontologists have just unearthed the first undisputed new species of Spinosaurus in over a century. Named Spinosaurus mirabilis, this massive predator is defined by a spectacular scimitar-shaped crest rising from its skull. Researchers believe this bone structure acted like a biological flare, possibly covered in vibrant colors to signal rivals or mates across the prehistoric rivers. With its unique interdigitating teeth, this creature was a lethal trap for slippery prey, earning it the terrifying nickname, the Hell Heron. But the most shocking part of this discovery is where it was found. Located hundreds of miles away from any ancient coastline, this find shatters the idea that these giants only lived by the sea. It proves that these massive hunters dominated the river systems deep within the continent, ruling the waterways of Africa with an iron grip. This discovery fills a 100-year gap in our knowledge, showing us how these legends evolved to become the ultimate river kings of their time. Have you ever wondered what an ancient Egyptian mummy actually smelled like? Researchers from the University of Bristol have developed a revolutionary way to answer this question without even touching the fragile remains. By analyzing the volatile organic compounds floating in the air around these mummies, scientists have decoded a 2,000-year-old chemical recipe for the afterlife. This invisible scent profile is a complex blend of oils, beeswax, and rare plant resins that create a distinct woody and spicy aroma. It was not just meant to mask the smell of decay. This scent was a high-tech shield designed to protect the body from insects and microbes for eternity. Interestingly, the study reveals that embalmers used specific chemical mixtures for different parts of the body, showing a level of medical precision we never expected. As techniques evolved over centuries, simpler oils were replaced by expensive imported resins, revealing a vast global trade network hidden in the air. This breakthrough allows us to experience history with our own senses, bringing us closer to what we call the scent of eternity. From the silent echoes of the past, we return to the living, breathing reality of the present. We are turning our focus inward to the miraculous biological machine that carries us through life. It is time to explore the revolution happening within the human pulse. Japan has just officially entered a new era of regenerative medicine. For the first time in history, medical products made from programmed iPS cells have received government approval for real-world use. This Nobel Prize-winning technology essentially allows scientists to turn back the clock on human cells. By taking an adult cell and resetting its genetic code, researchers can transform it into any type of tissue the body needs. One of the approved treatments is a revolutionary heart muscle patch. It acts like a living bandage, sticking to a damaged heart to restore its strength and repair failing tissue. Another breakthrough targets Parkinson's disease. Instead of just masking symptoms with medicine, doctors will now transplant fresh, lab-grown nerve cells directly into the brain. These cells are designed to replace the ones lost to the disease, aiming for a true cure rather than just management. Because these cells can be made from a patient's own body, the risk of rejection is minimal. This milestone moves us beyond the age of pills and into the age of cellular repair. It offers a new sense of hope for millions living with conditions that were once considered irreversible. While we're resetting cells to repair hearts, other scientists are growing mini spinal cords in the lab to solve one of the greatest mysteries of human medicine. These organoids are microscopic versions of a human spinal cord designed to mimic our complex immune responses. To treat simulated injuries, researchers introduced a revolutionary material known as dancing molecules. Unlike traditional medicine that stays still, these molecules are designed to move constantly. This constant motion allows them to find and unlock cellular gates that were once considered closed. The results were nothing short of miraculous. The thick scar tissue that normally prevents healing began to shrink, and damaged nerves started to regrow in organized patterns. This breakthrough moves us away from testing on mice and directly onto human tissues, significantly increasing the chance of success for real patients. With FDA recognition already in place, we are one step closer to a future where a simple injection could repair the devastating effects of paralysis. It is not just a treatment, it's a molecular dance that leads to recovery. Medicine is no longer just about standard pills, it's about personalized code. Scientists have now achieved a massive breakthrough against triple-negative breast cancer, the most aggressive form of the disease. Using mRNA technology, they're creating vaccines that are tailor-made for each individual patient. By scanning a person's unique tumor, researchers write a specific genetic script to train the immune system. This vaccine doesn't just attack the cancer, it builds a long-term memory. It creates a permanent army of T cells that act as sentinels, standing guard to prevent the disease from ever returning. What was once a hopeful prediction in 2024 has now become a definitive clinical reality in 2026. We are witnessing the end of the fear of recurrence. This is the moment cancer treatment becomes a personalized software update for your biological defense. If you could have a vaccine tailored specifically to your unique DNA code, would you trust this new era of personalized science? I'm curious to see your perspective on this.
Leaving the world of human biology behind, we venture into the untamed beauty of our planet. From the deepest oceans to the heart of the wild, nature is revealing its most incredible secrets and survival stories. It is time to reconnect with the rhythm of the wild world. If you ask almost any human on Earth, the word booba sounds round, while kiki feels sharp. For years, we believed this was a unique human trait linked to the way our mouths move when we speak. But a stunning new study has found this exact same software inside a one-day-old chick. Despite having zero experience with the outside world, these tiny birds associate round shapes with soft sounds and spiky shapes with sharp sounds, just like us. When they hear booba, they walk toward the circle. When they hear kiki, they move toward the star. This discovery shatters our old theories about the evolution of language. It proves that this mental connection is much older than speech itself. It is a deep biological program that has existed for millions of years. Our brains are not born as blank slates. They come pre-programmed with a sensory map to help us navigate the world before we even take our first breath. We are finally seeing the ancient blueprint of life. Think about a brain with only 1 million neurons, yet it performs calculations that would challenge a supercomputer. We already knew bees used the sun to find their way, but new research reveals they are actually master pilots using a technique called optic flow. By measuring the speed of objects passing by their eyes, bees calculate distance and direction with nearly perfect precision. They do not just fly, they navigate. Even when strong winds push them off course, these tiny engineers instantly calculate the drift and correct their path in real time. After a long zigzag journey through the fields, they don't need a map to get back. They simply calculate the shortest straight-line return to their hive in an instant. This biological miracle is now inspiring a revolution in robotics. By copying the low-energy algorithms of a honeybee, we could build autonomous drones that navigate deep caves or even the surface of Mars without any GPS. This discovery shows us that the most advanced technology on Earth is not made of silicon, but of wings and wonder. In the early days of Sydney, the harbor was filled with oyster reefs so massive that ships struggled to find a path through the water. But early European settlers saw these living wonders as nothing more than building materials, burning millions of shells to produce lime for construction. For over a century, these vital ecosystems were lost, and every attempt to bring them back failed, until now. Scientists have discovered that the secret to a successful reef is not just the oysters, but the architecture. It turns out these reefs are complex three-dimensional cities filled with deep crevices that protect young larvae from predators and strong currents. By using advanced 3D printing to replicate this natural design, researchers have boosted the survival rate of new oysters by 80%. These reefs are nature's most efficient water treatment plants, with a single oyster filtering nearly 200 liters of water every single day. They also act as living breakwaters, protecting our coastlines from the rising power of storms. We are not just planting shells, we are rebuilding the underwater foundations of the wild world, one printed stone at a time. Deep within the oceans, the massive circulatory system of our planet is undergoing a profound transformation. New evidence from sediment cores in Antarctica proves that melting ice is doing more than just raising sea levels. It's effectively shutting down the global conveyor belt of deep-sea currents. As fresh water floods the poles, the salt water loses its density and weight, preventing it from sinking to the ocean floor. This stall in the system, particularly in the North Atlantic, threatens to collapse the currents that keep Europe warm and the tropics habitable. But the pressure is not just coming from the melting ice. In an unexpected twist, researchers have found that even our green energy solutions are affecting the sea. Massive offshore wind farms are disrupting the wind's drag on the water surface, changing how the ocean layers mix and potentially shifting local ecosystems. Together, these discoveries from early 2026 reveal that the very physics of our oceans is being rewritten. We are witnessing a fundamental change in how our world moves its heat and breathes, driven by both the force of nature and the hand of human. Finally, we turn our gaze toward the edge of tomorrow. We're crossing the boundaries of the known world to explore the frontiers that will define our future. Let's look beyond the stars and into the heart of future horizons.
Our energy-hungry world has a dirty secret. Modern batteries depend on toxic metals like cobalt and nickel, leaving a trail of environmental destruction behind. But a revolutionary breakthrough is about to make green energy truly green. Scientists have developed a new generation of organic batteries using special N-type conducting polymers. These are not just eco-friendly, they have finally solved the performance flaws of organic power. By modifying the polymer to carry both electrons and ions at lightning speed, researchers created a battery that charges in minutes and maintains its capacity for thousands of cycles. This technology ends our reliance on destructive mining and eliminates the risk of battery explosions. It is a shift from rare mineral dependency to synthetic organic molecules, making the power of tomorrow cheaper, safer, and cleaner than ever before. Humanity is facing a digital dark age. Our current hard drives and magnetic tapes only last a few decades. This forces us to constantly copy our entire history to new devices. But Microsoft's Project Silica has just finalized a breakthrough that could preserve our legacy for 10,000 years. Using ultra-fast lasers, they're encoding data inside palm-sized glass plates in 5 dimensions. This is not just on the surface. The data is etched deep inside the molecular structure of the glass. In a landmark study published in Nature, researchers proved they can now use affordable borosilicate glass to store terabytes of information. Surprisingly, this is the same material commonly found in your kitchen. These glass discs have survived ovens, boiling water, and microwaves without losing a single bit of data. This technology turns the cloud into a passive, energy-free library that requires no cooling and no power to maintain. From your family photos to the world's most important archives, our digital soul is now being written into stone-cold, immortal glass. In the world of classical physics, we know the butterfly effect as a small change that leads to unpredictable results. But deep within the quantum realm, this chaos works in a much more mysterious way. Scientists have finally found a way to measure this phenomenon using a method called OTOC. They have successfully quantified the quantum butterfly effect for the first time. In this tiny world, the effect is all about how fast information scrambles within a system. During the experiments, researchers observed how a tiny change in a single atom can instantly disrupt its entanglement with the rest of the system. This causes the entire system to effectively forget its starting point. But why does this matter for our future? This quantum chaos is actually the greatest enemy of quantum computers. It causes information to break down through a process called decoherence. By measuring this chaos, we now have a roadmap to build more stable and error-free processors. This discovery also links the laboratory to the deepest mysteries of space. This same scrambling of information happens at the event horizon of black holes. We are now testing the most extreme physics of the universe right on a lab bench. Understanding this chaotic spread of energy could even revolutionize material science by changing how we manage heat at the microscopic level. Imagine a filter that can think for itself without any electricity or human control. Scientists have developed a revolutionary type of autonomous membrane that functions like a living cell membrane. These surfaces are covered with millions of microscopic pores that can open or close based on the chemicals around them. The secret lies in a layer of smart polymer chains that act like a lock and key system. They only react when they detect a specific chemical signal. This means we can now create smart medical implants that live inside the human body. For example, the membrane could detect an infection and release antibiotics only when needed. Once the job is done, it simply closes its own gates. This technology also offers a zero-energy solution for clean water. These filters can purify seawater or polluted rivers by regulating their own flow based on the contaminants they find. By mimicking the way our own cells breathe and filter, we are creating artificial organs that function just like the real ones. This is the dawn of biomimetic engineering, where materials are no longer passive objects, but active participants in our health. The Hubble Space Telescope has just detailed one of the most bizarre structures in the known universe. Astronomers call it Nube, which means cloud in Spanish, but it is better described as a ghost galaxy. This massive structure is nearly invisible to our instruments because it defies everything we know about how galaxies form. Even though Nube is as wide as our own Milky Way, it contains 10 times fewer stars. These stars are spread so thin that the galaxy looks like a transparent mist of light floating in the void. Calculations show that 99% of its mass consists of dark matter. This means the few stars we see are just tiny points of light trapped inside a massive, invisible mountain. This discovery is now shaking the very foundations of modern physics. Our current models cannot explain how such a giant structure can exist with so little visible matter. It forces us to ask if our understanding of dark matter is completely wrong. Galaxies like Nube act as cosmic laboratories that help us map the invisible skeleton of the universe. We are finally peering into the dark, and what we found is a giant that shouldn't be there. Does this discovery make you question if our current maps of the universe are missing something fundamental? What do you think dark matter actually is? Astronomers have just discovered a cosmic fugitive tearing through the darkness of space at a staggering speed. This supermassive black hole was kicked out of its own galaxy and is now moving at 1,600 kilometers per second. It's traveling so fast that it doesn't even have time to swallow the matter in its path. Instead, it acts like a high-speed boat cutting through the water, leaving a massive wake behind it. This trail is an incredible 200,000 light-years long, which is twice the width of our entire Milky Way. But this trail isn't made of foam, it's made of brand new stars. As the black hole crashes into gas clouds, it compresses them with such force that it triggers a wave of stellar births. Scientists believe this happened because of a cosmic game of billiards. 3 massive black holes danced too close to each other, and one was violently slingshotted into the void. This discovery proves that black holes aren't always anchors at the center of galaxies. They can be lone wanderers moving through the intergalactic silence. It also shows us a creative side of these dark giants, proving they can be the engines of life and light rather than just agents of destruction. Which is more fascinating to you? A black hole that anchors a galaxy, or a lone wanderer creating stars as it travels through the void? These are the major scientific breakthroughs for this week. Which discovery excited you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Fresh Science is here to bring you the most exciting breakthroughs from the edge of discovery. If you want to stay ahead of the latest news in science, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community. You can find all the scientific sources used for this video in the description below. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. Stay curious and stay fresh.